Okay, now in topic C, we're going to start taking whole numbers and dividing them by fractions, which in effect looks a lot like multiplication. But we're going to be splitting up whole numbers into fractional amounts. So we're going to be taking a problem such as this, of 1/4 of 12, and we're going to be using what's called a set model. And we're going to help kids to draw a set. And the reason that I'm drawing these 12 circles in groups of 3 like this is because I'm dividing by 4 here. And we're going to divide that set this way into 4 groups because it's telling us to do that in the fraction. And one of those fourths, 1/4 of the 12, is going to be equal to 3. 2/4 would be equal to 6. 3/4 would be equal to 9. And all 4/4 of the 12 would be equal to 12. So we're going to be helping them see what this means when we're asking them to figure out what 1/4 of 12 using this kind of set model. And then we'll move on to problem solving using that same kind of set model. There's 24 students, 5/6 of them are girls. How many students are girls? Again, I'm going to use that set model. The 6 is going to tell me to make them in groups of 4. There's my 6 groups, and 1/6 would be 4, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6 is right here. That's 5/6 of the 24, and that would be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. 20 are girls. Next, after we use the set model, we're going to move into using tape diagrams to solve the same kind of problems. So here again, 3/5 of 35. Instead of the set model, which takes some time to do, we're going to use a quicker model, a tape diagram, and this whole thing is going to represent 35. And then the fraction tells me that I've got to cut it up into 5 equal parts. And it tells me I need to take 3 of those parts. So if the whole thing is 35 and it's divided into 5 parts, I know that each part has to be 7. And then 3 of those 7s would be 21. Again, we're trying to help kids to understand what we're asking when we say 3/5 of 35, and the model will help them to get a picture of that in their minds. It'll also help them solve more difficult problems like this. 2/3 of what number is equal to 8? Again, we're going to use that same tape diagram. And the whole thing, of course, is going to equal, the whole thing we don't know. In this case, we don't know what the whole thing is, but we do know what it's split up into. We do know that it's split up into 3 parts, and we know that 2 of those parts are equal to 8. And if 2 of those parts are equal to 8, then obviously each part is equal to 4, which means this part must also be 4 since they're all equal parts. This makes figuring out the total very easy. 4, 8, 12. It must be 12. Finally, we're going to move into using an algorithm because, of course, using the tape diagrams is not as efficient as just being able to solve the problem. But we do want this under their belts first so that they really have a grounded sense of what they're doing. And now we're thinking of a problem like 2/3 of 18. And what we want them to be able to do is to know, okay, I've got to divide that by 3 first, just like we did in our tape diagram. And 18 divided by 3 is 6, but then we only want 2 parts of that. So 18 divided by 3 is 6, times 2 would be 12. Another way to think about it would be to do 2/3 times 18 over 1. 2 times 18 would be 36. We're still dividing it by 3, and we still get 12. There are many methods to get there, but these are quicker methods to help kids just to quickly get an answer. Finally, in topic C, we're going to be applying all that we've learned so far to convert units of measurement. So we're going to be looking at problems like this. 3/4 of a foot is how many inches? And again, this uses the same principles that we've studied so far in topic C. What we're really asking is 3/4 of some number of inches is that many inches. And how many inches are in a foot? 12 inches. So this problem is really asking, what is 3/4 of 12 inches? So we're converting the feet into inches and then finding 3/4 of it. And again, 12 divided by 4 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. That would be 9 inches. By now, students should be able to use the algorithm quickly and easily, and if not, they can rely on a set model or a tape diagram to help them through it. Another problem would look like this. I spent 2/3 of a year in Ohio. How long was I there in months? Again, that's 2/3 of a year, but let's convert the year to months. How many months are in a year? 12. So this is really asking for 2/3 of 12 months. And 12 divided by 3 is 4, times 2 would be 8. I was in Ohio for 8 months. And that'll wrap up topic C.